All right, we're
Whoa.
here. Hey, everybody.
How's it
So we are
going?
back for the Build a Business series. Today's the last
Yes, we
day.
are.
I'm kind of sad, but we've had a lot of fun. So my name is Andy Ortega, and I'm also joined by my good buddy and coworker and super ambassador, Danny
Hey,
Walsh. Hey,
how's
bud.
it going?
Hey,
Let's
I'm
let's
doing
make
good.
sure let's make sure we're live in the group. I'll be checking this, Andy. I know you've got a way of going about to wrap this up for folks because it's been an amazing week, right?
Sure. So, yeah, we had a wonderful week. What is the Build a Business series? What we've been doing this week is we took a fictitious entrepreneur, Susan, okay, made up the name, and we kind of came up with a business for Susan. See, our fake entrepreneur, Susan, is someone that has been uh, kind of getting into ClickFunnels too, learning how to use it. Actually, built their own site, and they're getting so good that they wanted to offer their own services to other people. Okay, so on Monday, what we did is we told Susan that it's probably a good idea for her to start in a niche, right? We went on Monday, we talked about problem and solution and how she could start in a small niche. And what she decided to do was offer services to her photography group. Okay, she's in a group. She loves photography as well as ClickFunnels too, and so what she's going to do is she wanted to teach photographers, macro photographers, how to sell their prints, how to sell their images online. Cool. So that's what we did. We actually built a funnel on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday we had one of our other ambassadors, James Curran, and he built a course and a membership for us, and kind of taught us a little bit about the linchpin strategy, which is a huge, awesome new concept that is going to be addressed at FHL this year. So I'm really excited about that. And I hear the book is going to be launched very soon as well. All right. Anyway, on Thursday, yesterday, we had Riddy, one of our ambassadors, jump on, and she taught us the elements of a sales page. So what we did is we covered pretty much from A to Z. We didn't do things like graphic design or anything like that. We did have Tim come on, and he showed us how to use Canva a little bit, but that's what we've been doing. So Susan now has an entire site. She has a funnel. She has a membership. She has a sales page. She's ready to go. Yeah, that's what we did.
Yeah, it's been a great week, and I think Susan's now at a point where she's rocking, right? She's out there and
Right.
she's been running a webinar, and then she's been building out a membership site, and she's been doing a bunch of content that kind of links photography and graphic design and stuff like that. And now she's transitioned to a point where she can start selling her services at a much wider spectrum of things that she's offering, right? So now she's at the point where she's maybe starting to build some funnels, and where she's starting to offer more marketing type services, helping people with the Facebook ads and things like that as well. And Susan's gone from quite quickly just being the expert in a niche group to somebody who's now the marketing expert within that group. And all of these guys are coming to her like, "Hey, Susan, I need help with the website. I need help with this marketing of this book. I need help with this marketing of this photograph. I need help figuring out how to do Facebook ads. I need all this stuff." And Susan's kind of like, whoa. So now she's in a point where she's actually taking on clients, but she is also finding that some of these clients are wasting a little bit of her time, and some of these guys are asking her some questions that she's like, "Hey, yes, I'll give you the answers," but they're a little bit reluctant to pay. And I think one of the things that you find when you who come on board, they want everything for free, and they're not like willing to maybe sign up to a higher value package. Maybe they're kicking the tires, and I think that might be a nice way to kind of bring this naturally to conclusion. So you've covered all of the spectrum of, hey, I've got the idea, hey, I found the niche, hey, I've done something small, I've added the people along the value ladder, I'm bringing people into my membership. That's all good. And now I'm starting to offer more expensive services through sales pages like Riddy showed to us. These people are coming on board, and I'm getting people contact me on Facebook, and they want to do like a call to find out, how much things cost. I'm finding that it's a bit difficult to sort of work with the client. She's not quite getting that bit. So maybe we could talk a little bit about how you would work with the client. And I know that in the coming weeks, we're going to kind of look at, well, if that all works, maybe Susan would be the next agency for photography businesses, right? So it's like you can start the process again of like, how would you kind of build that agency? So Susan's going on this marketing journey real quick. And I know Riddy and James are going to come back on and start talking to us a little bit about, we've got to this point, but the more you move forward in your journey, the more kind of like issues and obstacles and things will come to light. And I guess working with people is probably one of the hardest things in any business, right? Serving your customers, making sure things are delivered on time, making sure things are fulfilled. And if we could talk a little bit about that, Andy, I guess that would be great. But also any other questions that folks might have from the previous sessions, I guess we could answer those as well. I know these guys are waiting in the wings, and we can bring them on. But is there anything else just before we do that, Andy, that you just might want to add around that?
Yeah. So I love, Danny, how this has just evolved naturally. So we talked a little bit about what we were going to do in the basic structure last week, right? But we came up with Susan and the whole idea behind Susan and what we're going to do with Susan on Monday. We did it on purpose. We kind of just had a natural discussion, and I just love the way this has happened. So it's really exciting that we've decided, right, that in a couple of weeks, we don't have the official date yet, but we are planning on continuing this journey with Susan. And just like you mentioned, maybe she'll start her own agency. So we'll see. Very exciting.
Yep. So let's bring on our awesome ambassadors. Riddy's here and James is here. We could do a little bit of Q&A. Hey, how's everybody doing today?
Hey guys.
James is outside. I don't know if you guys kind of picked that up, that now, thanks to your help, Susan has gone from the expert in the group to somebody who's doing a little bit of photography, graphic type training. Now she's got a membership site where she's kind of switching from that kind of stuff, delivering content to her members. And she's at a point, like Riddy did some sales pages and things yesterday, offering more and more expensive services. And now she's actually doing what she wanted to do in the beginning, right? She's building a few funnels. She's going out there helping people put their Facebook ads together. Maybe she's building landing pages. All of that stuff you guys have showed her over the week, she's kind of implementing. But she's starting to get to this point where she's getting people coming to her and they're asking for advice. And she's at that stage in that kind of business where she's thinking, well, do I need to start an agency for that? Maybe I'm not quite there. How does Susan handle the clients, and how does she make sure that she's talking to the right people, that she's going to get paid, all of that kind of stuff? Because that's a thing in itself, right? And whenever you're delivering any kind of service, or you're building a website, you're building a funnel, you're doing ads or whatever it is, you've kind of got to balance a lot of things. And I guess automation comes into this a little bit. What were the kind of things that Susan might be facing right now? Because she's come a long way in a few short months. And also any other comments that we get and questions related to the previous stuff. Does that kind of make sense? Does that sound like a plan? Is there something you guys are able to help us with a little bit?
Absolutely. That was a lot of topics, so we can take
it's a big thing
in series. But I feel like we could definitely tackle all of them. Yeah.
And already, how you doing?
Hi. I'm doing good. How are you guys?
We're doing great. Michael's in the chat is saying something cool about you guys as opposed to other entrepreneur groups is that you respond with actual help when people ask questions instead of just being cheerleaders. You've got this, only goes so far. And he loves that the CF folks loves it. Everything about us. Thanks for the great content, you guys, which is awesome. Navneet's here, Gabriel's here, Riddy's here, James is here, Divier's here as well, Michael's here. As we know, you guys are awesome. Quite a few people on the show today. So any questions, drop them in the comments. But let's just take it slow then, James, right? So we're not overload everybody. You've got to the point where you start to build out funnels for clients. And you guys you've got to remember that first client, right? And it doesn't just go smoothly. Maybe it did. I don't know. What's your experience of now you've started to help more and more people and you're starting to help them with their businesses rather than just give them a little bit of help with a certain topic? What's the sort of like do's and don'ts or advice that kind of comes from that?
I think my initial recommendation is so much of what we talk about is niching down and finding your dream client and doing all this stuff. And honestly, in the beginning, for a funnel builder, I kind of suggest the opposite, which is like just try a bunch of stuff and kind of say yes to a lot of the different jobs. Because getting something is better than nothing, especially if you're committed to it. But also, you'll see there's like a variety of different clients and different levels of maturity within the experience of the clients, and you're just going to experience a lot of different things, and you can't buy that experience. Really, you have to kind of go through it. So my initial recommendation is to try to take a bunch of different size and style of jobs, and then get your feet wet, and then get some confidence.
Yeah, it's very important. What's your take on that, really?
So my experience lies alongside with James. So when we start with like bunch of different things, and then we try, fail, try again, and then decide if this is something that I want to do or you want to do, and then niche down like, okay, this is a service I want to provide. And then you don't niche down in the audience as well. Try a bunch of people, help bunch of people, and then you'll find 1-2 clients in your clientele which you love to work with, right? And then your next step is to find those kind of clients only. So I started with Facebook ads. I learned all the general marketing, skills: Facebook ads, content marketing, the social media marketing, this, that, sales funnels, website building, WordPress, almost everything. And then I niched down to the sales funnels. My first client was not a sales funnel client; it was a Facebook ads client. But then I was like, no, I can't do that. So that's how you get your first client and work with them. And while you're working with them, you mentioned like how the work goes. So business is all kind of experiments. You start, you are going to drown, and you still start. So you'll face few problems. A good thing is to be in some kind of community like ClickFunnels. There are a few other communities as well where you can have the support. You can ask questions like, hey, I'm stuck here, what to do? And just like ClickFunnels, there are few communities. People are really there to help you out. So this is the best way to go about it, because you will make mistakes. We all have made that. And we have to learn, correct, and repeat.
Yeah, it's important that folks get that. And Divya's in the chat right now saying working with different clients and gaining experience is valuable as well. And you've kind of got to get a feel for this, right? Because 6 months ago, Susan was in a photography group thinking, oh, I wish I could help these people with the logos. But she kind of had that longer term plan that she wanted to start actually building funnels. And I remember I once bought this like video software, and it was like this cool little software. It was like, I don't know, it cost me like $90. And you could go on there and you could make the little cartoon characters animate and do like an explainer video. And I managed to get a job selling these things to like the local council, like the environment department of the council. And we had like the little refuse collector guy going along in this little video. And these guys were paying an insane amount of money to some other company. And I managed to kind of work my way in there a little bit. And I charged $2,000 or £2,000, $2,000 more than that for one of these videos. And it was like the best thing ever. But what I realized is the more I did these things, I was running out of actual animated characters. And I kind of got to a point where they were saying, well, now can you do a bird that flies out of the tree? And can you do this car that pulls up? And I was like, oh, man, I've reached the limit of the software for these guys. And I was thinking, I don't want to get into this position again where I then need to go and learn some other software or spend a big bunch of money. And sometimes you can find yourself going down a route that isn't right for you. I think that's what we're hearing, right? So you've tried something. Sometimes you've got to put the brakes on. Sometimes you've got to go all in on that. What do you guys think of that? Is that something that you've experienced? Because I know James you're very focused. Really, you're very focused. It's like, what's the thinking around that kind of thing, James? If you find something that you can do, but it might not be the best.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess one of the things I started off with was lead funnels, like lead squeeze funnels.
Yeah.
And they're really good because they're like a try before you buy, in a sense, for building funnels, because they're pretty inexpensive. But I found myself getting a lot of them, and I noticed that like my um, earnings per hour was like really low, because you actually have to do a lot of stuff for a lead funnel. There's like not a ton of difference between, say, like a 3-page VSL and a lead funnel. The automation's the same. A lot of the sort of marketing messaging is the same. You have to understand the avatar in the same way. You still have to come up with a domain. Like, all this stuff is continuous, but like I wasn't getting nearly enough. So I found out pretty early on, like, okay, I can't be sustainable doing just this. So that was definitely something where I had a lot of success with it, and then I sort of switched gears into some different tactics, and eventually landed on Linchpin.
So the linchpin, I've just seen a few emails flying around. That's something that's winging its way.
There might be a link and a URL out there right now, maybe.
Yeah, there could very well be. Folks go and rush and check their email. But you've gone through a bunch of stuff, and then you've really focused on one thing, because you mentioned something important there, that the earnings per hour. And when you first start, it's like you said, it's just go out there and get something, right? But as you progress in your business, you shouldn't just be taking any project on for the sake of it. And that's super important. Super important. What do you think about that, really? That, you know, folks who start moving and they start figuring out where they are and what they should be doing, should they just take any work for the sake of it, or do they need to be very disciplined?
So like, this is what I have done. I don't know how to suggest people, but I can share my experience.
Yeah.
So for 6 months, I bought a course which was like general marketing teaching course. I bought that course, started learning. For 6 months, I had 4 to 5 people. I was doing free stuff for them. So I don't have any kind of those pressure. What if I don't get them result? Because I'm learning. And they also knew it very well that this could fail. So that helped me get the confidence, show some results, not like hyperfuric results, but some results that build my confidence. And then I started selling at at very low price. And I had 2 clients for Facebook ads, and then I realized, no, I don't like numbers. Then I knew I like writing, and designing is my forte. So that was the time I learned about the entire ClickFunnels and Russell Brunson, and that was the time I started diving in, and it made all the sense, and it cleared all the doubts that was in my head around all the business and all the things. So from that, again, I got 3 clients for free for sales funnels. And then I started selling. So when you are learning, give it away as a free. And of course, let them know that I am doing this for free because I want to gain experience. I have knowledge. I know the theory. I want to do it practical. Would you be willing for that? Most beginner business owners are willing to. And a small amount of result is a lot more for them because they are getting nothing.
Yeah.
So that's how I started. And this is, in my case, the good way to start.
It totally makes sense. What's your thoughts, Andy, listening to this? That we can
Right, exactly. So I love how you mentioned that sometimes, really, it's good to offer something for free, right? Even offer an entire project. I know many people that have started that way, and there's a lot of controversy. Some people say you shouldn't do that. You should charge something, which, yeah, you could. But you know, since I was 13, I've been doing things for free for family and friends, the neighbors, and things like that. You know, something's wrong with my computer, or, you know, how do you set up this social media thing? And this is a wonderful way to establish yourself, you know, as an expert. And as you get the practice, as you get some experience, you'll be able to branch out and get and also focus on the things that you like. Because just like James said, In the beginning, maybe you don't know what you want to focus on, and you're not sure which clients you want to bring. But once you get some experience and you've done a few projects for people, you'll have a much clearer picture. So I love how you said that.
And I think
Yes,
one
and
thing to add also is like when you do something for free like that, um, your result as the sort of donator of your time should be the client results, and then you get a case study out from that. When you have a case study, you can say like, we took them from 2% conversion rate on the sales page to 2.5 or 3. That's a win, right? If you create a lead funnel and it's over 20% opt-in rate, maybe 40%, that's another win. And then that's what gets you the next paid gig. So I think doing a free gig or a series of them initially until you get an actual hard evidence case study is a really good idea.
absolutely, because there are so many courses that teaches you like how to get high paying clients, but you need a confidence to charge and to deliver. And confidence is not something any course can give you until you work for free or anything. So this is a great way to build your confidence, your portfolio, your experience, and have some kind of practice that you can show off, right?
Certainly is. And listening to this, it kind of takes me back because, everybody talks about high paying clients and closing the next deal and all of this sort of stuff. But if you're new to this, you can't just take this magic course that just gives you this magic wand that makes people come and give you, thousands of dollars. You've got to kind of build up to that. And one thing that I would always kind of advise the Susans of the world you've started off in a little group, you've sold a little bit of stuff to kind of bridge people over into the world of funnels and ads and all the things that you really know that they need, is every time you get a client, you put your price up a little bit, a little increment. So if you're doing something for free, next time you say, well, look, a great line that I've always used is, you need to help me kind of grease the wheels on this and we can get the thing turning a little bit faster. Or you could say something like, look, you invest in my dream and I can invest in your dream. I'm determined to get you the results. And if we do that, you're going to see some success. That's going to be kind of cool. And people will be like, well, yeah, of course they can't do it for free. And you start to see your confidence grow, but you're not asking for $10,000, because if you get it wrong at the $10,000 price point, that's a big old refund, right? That's like, if you've gone and taken that money and thought, yes, we're rich, Susan's rich overnight, she's done it. And then you kind of screw this thing up and these guys are like, whoa, we want our money back. That's a hard pill to swallow, right? So it's easier to give back a few $100 than it is to give back a few thousand. But as you move every single client, you notch that up. And at some point you'll find yourself commanding the revenue that you deserve, but equally having the confidence to do that. And all of this kind of resonates. And I don't know what you guys think about that approach and that strategy and what I've been doing out there. Like, how would you advise Susan? Would it be similar? Would it be different? How do you go from like free to, I don't know, what is the price for a funnel these days?
It depends on what kind of results that you're after. But I do think that leaning on that case study is a great way to bridge the gap between free and paid. Because once you've got the actual results, then you can show like one of my very first funnels, I was able to get a really great case study, and it was honestly due to the fact of the client that took a great job building up pressure before the launch started. They had an amazing group with a bunch of people, and then ended up crushing it with the funnel. Like the sales percentages were really high, but I was able to leverage that and then get the next job because I was able to take a screenshot of a 2-week period with a high number of sales, a high conversion rate, and it's like, boom, we did this. What's next? So I think that the proof, I would really want to leave on the proof more than copy or fancy stuff. Like hard evidence proof is, I think, the best way to go from to not to ratchet up in any sort of price increase scenario, whether that's free to paid or level 1 to level 2.
Yeah. And I guess one size doesn't fit all in the funnel world, right? Because somebody wants an all singing, all dancing thing with an app and 200 downloads and a suite of videos and a membership site, and somebody just wants 4 pages and everybody's view of that is different, and everybody's business is different, and you will find folks out there who want more than others. So you can't just say, hey, the going rate of a funnel. We see this all the time in the group. How much do you charge for a funnel?
Right. It depends. I mean, especially if you want to consider like any ongoing support after the funnel's built, because it's kind of a downer when like I deliver a funnel and I give it to someone and they haven't really figured out their social media strategy or their paid traffic strategy, and it's like, you know, I try to like, now I'm experienced enough to try to head that off at the pass. You were talking earlier about what kind of clients do you not like working with, and honestly, I find that I don't have great success with people who haven't gotten over their unwillingness to get in front of the camera. You know, if they haven't figured out their social media strategy or haven't been consistent, that means there's not going to be consistent traffic coming to the site, which means like kind of building this thing in a vacuum for nothing. So, you know, that's a selection criteria for when I'm doing funnels now. But also, if they do want that continued support going forward, then that's a totally different thing. Then we're talking about, you know, a sort of monthly retainer or contract where we're continuing to support. I just did an offer this morning to someone where I'm like, okay, this is the offer, but I'm going to stay with you until you get your money back. And that's my new sort of way of looking at things, you know?
Some goals.
So, yeah, actually, that brings up a question for me, James. There's probably a couple of different types of clients that you have. There's the ones that are still figuring stuff out. You know, they still don't have their social media down. And then there's probably other clients that know their stuff. They just want you, they need your help, right? They know everything, they know what to do. Maybe they've done it before, they're already successful, but they just want to be more successful, right? How much of your role, how much of your services are going to include things like coaching, where you're actually getting on calls and teaching them stuff?
It really depends. For that very reason, I have a sort of a tiered system where if you just need me to do the thing for you, that's one flat fee. But then I have some extra options. Like if you want me to help with ads, I can, you know, we can do that. If you want me to help with coaching, I had the benefit of my wife is a former Tony Robbins platinum level coach, so she is like world class at getting people unstuck and getting people to reach their goals. She's a business partner of mine, so if there's someone who really wants some mindset work or wants to help, you know, with consistency, or wants help like realizing that they can be in front of the camera, they don't have to look some ideal way, then I'm able to leverage her and bring her in to help it out. But yeah, it just depends on what people want. I'm in 2CCX, and I have a lot of my clients that are also in 2CCX. And a lot of those people, they get it. They're already successful. They just don't want to do the work themselves. They don't want to do the training videos and learn how to do this stuff. So they're like, all right, James, I know that you know this stuff. Just do it for me. And those are usually not requiring coaching. That's more cut and dry. But honestly, I love working with those types of clients because we're already speaking the same language. We know what the deliverables are going to be, and it's pretty easy.
And because Riddy's nodding away, and this must be resonating with your good self, because you two working with a bunch of clients, and I know you've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly along this journey that you've taken. What's your thoughts on this stuff, Riddy?
So I have built sales funnels from all the way from people who didn't have any offer on any business to people who are really successful, making almost 8-9 figures in the business and building funnels for them. So as a funnel builder, my role is to build the funnel, put the offers on that, and the business owner wants to leverage my expertise. They don't want to spend or waste their time because they have a lot more other things to do in their business, and they want somebody to take over, because how many things one person can do in a day, right? So working from like people who didn't have business or offer, it was pretty hard, because sometimes I have to become their business coach, and which is a big thing. I'm 25-year-old. I know my business. I don't know business in all general forms. So I can do that. I know sales funnels. I can do that only. The second type of people, as James said, like they do not have any kind of traffic strategy figured out. They don't have list. So from the last year, I have started not to take up those kind of clients, because before that I was kind of naive. I was like thinking, I'll do that. But now, no. Do you have email list? And there are certain criteria for revenue as well. Like if you're making this much, then we can work together. Because if you don't have your offers tested, if you don't have any traffic, my work is, I feel like, going to waste. No matter if you're paying me money, I don't want your money. If I'm working for you, I want to see you succeed. I want you to get some results with my work. And if that's not happening, I am not happy, because that keeps my confidence down. Like, oh man, I did the amazing work, but it didn't bring any results.
I
And
totally
that's
agree with that, Reddy. I just want to say I've had that same experience, and I do so good. I'm like, no sales. God, maybe I suck.
yes.
Yeah.
And we all take it up like, oh, maybe I suck, and then it slows down the client hunting process, because I'm not motivated. I feel like I am not doing good enough, and that brings my morale, my confidence so down, that I'm like kind of so low level. And from that I have moved now. And now I'm so motivated to work, to open the ClickFunnels, because the kind of clients I'm working, they have the traffic already. They can start sending a portion of their traffic to the funnel and see how the funnel is converting. So I can see my work working in a days of time, and that is something gives me a motivation, like, oh, that is working, let's do it more. Let's give some more people a help. So as a sales funnel builder, I am just a sales funnel builder. I cannot take over the traffic thing, I cannot take over the offers thing. If you don't have both of these things, this my work won't help you. And if you don't have, I won't take them. So these were my experiences. These are the lessons I've learned over the time.
Well, I do have to say that you've been a pretty good coach this week, Riddy,
Yeah.
and also being a ClickFunnels ambassador at the age of 25, that's pretty impressive.
That's rad.
Yeah.
I also want to say, like,
Thank
one
you.
thing that I've done to sort of help out with this first problem, where like, because ideally I want to help people at all levels. So one thing that I've done is just create material and content and programs for people who are at that starting point, get them to sort of get up to speed on their own with through an automated fashion. And then if they do want some additional help later on, then I've already served them and helped them get results without doing it, trading time for that. I've got a course or a membership or something where I help them get up to speed. So I get to help, but indirectly, less directly than if we were working one-on-one.
It sounds to me that Susan's facing some of these problems, and now she's come to our business clinic on the Friday afternoon. She's been given some insight from folks who were a little bit further, or indeed a lot further down the line, and now she's like, man, yeah, you guys are right. I need a criteria. I need to make sure that when these guys come in my inbox going, please help me with this thing, I've got to kind of filter out and make sure that I can only work with the people I can work with. Because if they don't get the result, that's no good for anybody. And if they've not at the right stage, maybe I can just redirect them back to a course. But look, we built a course around the photography and the AI and the graphics and stuff. Maybe it's time for Susan to be building out some content that is actually based around, hey, here's some funnel advice. Hey, here's some ads advice. Hey, here's some stuff that you can go and do to get you to this point. And when you're at that point, you can come back to me, and maybe there's a special onboarding she can do then, right? That's what I'm hearing from this stuff, you guys. And James is like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And you don't want to work with people who want you to fix their tire, but they don't have a car. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it really starting to make sense, because look, when folks are watching, I know Alex has got a question in the comments, and I'm not sure if you guys can pick it up. He's tried a link, and I've tried to reapprove the link. He does have some technicality with a membership site, and I don't know if you guys would spend just a couple of minutes out of the busy schedule that you've got. Just see if you can pick that up. I can't see the link coming back in. I've reapproved it. I'm not sure exactly what the question is. Alex, if you want to repost that, we will do our best to pick it up. We'll decide if we can answer it on the call. If not, we'll direct you to open a support ticket, and then you can get our attention, and we'll try our best on that. But you guys try and have a look, see if there's any advice you can offer, because that is just not showing. The filters picked it up, right? So if we can help Alex, we will. But just thinking about this now from a Susan perspective, she's gone from like just helping a few folks in a photography group. So now she's at a point where she's getting some clients. She's figuring out her structure. She's figuring out what she likes doing. She's figuring out her policies and how she gets people on board. She's taken some amazing advice. And actually, she started to be able to charge quite a decent amount of money now for her services. And I think she's getting to a point where she's looking to the future. But sometimes you can only see the mist, right? And you guys might be able to see the mountain that's behind the mist. And you know where she's going and what she's got to do and what she's got to climb. But Susan's like, whoa, it's working. I'm building funnels and it's super exciting. What are some of the kind of like next steps where Susan might need to trod or might need to go, or, you know, based on your experience of just seeing the mist? Because there's a long path to trod, right? I can see James thinking.
Yeah, I'd say like from that point, then you're sort of like dialing in who your dream client is. So then your next step is to craft your marketing messages to hook your dream clients. So you're understanding your dream client on a deeper level, crafting marketing messages, talking about pain points, talking about dreams. You know, in my case, it'd be something like, you know what to do, but you don't have the time to do it. So here's what ways you can speed things up. If you want help, you can talk to me and I can, that kind of thing, where you're putting out hooks to get your dream client and not putting out hooks to get just anybody. So honing that in.
So we're kind of pushing away the wrong people and getting the right people.
Yes.
That's what we're saying. What's your thoughts, Rudy?
My thoughts are like, don't talk numbers in your content. Don't talk numbers, because numbers attracts a wrong kind of people. In the first year of my career, it was 2021. I was like inspired by all those coaches who coaches how to coach coaches and how to coach coaches.
We like those guys.
Yeah, who talks like, I made this amount, this is how you make this. And that attracted very, very wrong kind of clients. So that's one thing. Don't talk numbers. Talk ways, talk concepts, talk how you can help them. Like, just blatantly, just don't talk numbers. If you have the results, for example, last client, we increased 20% opt-in rate just with the headline change. Talk about those numbers, but like how to make 100,000, 6 figures, don't talk them. It attracts really wrong people.
What's your thoughts, Andy?
Yeah, there's definitely going to be people that you don't want to attract, because that can be very frustrating, right? You might start getting a bunch of calls or emails or messages from just the wrong type of person, and so yeah, I guess the question is, what did you do, Riddy? Like, what did you do to change so that you're not getting those type of people anymore? And you said that you kind of gave a hint. You said that instead of talking numbers, you're talking concepts and things like that. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, I am not the best person to talk about content because I have been laid back on the content, but here's what I have done and that have got me clients. So I mostly talk about the experience of working with previous clients, the concepts that I implemented on the client's funnel, the results I got, and the epiphanies. When we are working on the sales funnel, like each and every process, you get some kind of epiphany. You learn some new things. Talk about those things, and then as James said, like hooks, because people want somebody who talks their language. I'm still learning this, but here's something that have worked for me. People who do not, business owners who do not have time to do things, they understand sales funnels. Of course, they're in business, they are making good money, they understand everything. They don't have time. They don't want to do all those things that I can do and I want to do. For example, last week, Danny knows this thing. Like for 9 days, I was facing the same problem, and my client didn't want to face those problems and solve that, but I did for them, and they were very grateful. So these are things that you can talk about, experiences, about results, about concepts, that does 3 things. Your readers know, like, you know what you're talking about. They understand you are at some level of expertise, maybe not the best, but at second, third, fifth, fourth level on the step. And third thing, people will reach out to you like, hey, I need funnels. Can you help me? Things like that.
It's all kind of coming together in my mind, and I know Alex, I've just said just put this together in one piece of text because you're trying to put links and stuff and it's not quite clear to me in the comments. Figure that out, send it over to us and we'll get you an answer. Andy?
Yeah, right. And Alex, thank you so much for sending in the question. We actually take questions in any of our live videos. So anybody that's out there that has a question, even if it's not related, what we'll do is at the end, or once we get to a convenient point in our discussion, we can always address that. I think what happened with Alex is he's having some type of issue inside his membership site. So for us to take a look, we'd have to log in. And I'm not sure if we can do that right now, but Alex, don't worry. There's a bunch of people that are taking a look at your messages and we'll help you. So just give it some time. I'm not sure if we'll be able to do it right now, but it will get addressed.
Yeah, just put it in a message and we'll make sure all the guys see it. And then if it has to go to support, it'll go to support. And we'll do that for the folks on the live. I know you've got links, and I think the admin assist is picking up the links, and it's like, I just want help with this thing. And I think that really actually illustrates what we're trying to say here, right? Because there's some folks out there who just need the help right now. And as a service provider, look, if we wave a wand and we fix Alex's problem in the next 15 minutes after the show for free, right? And it's like, dude, there's your problem solved. You can go and do this thing now over the weekend and go and run your business. If Susan was doing that for folks, and then she's getting the response and says, now I've got a testimonial. Now I can start to think about who I'm working with, what am I doing? If Alex, obviously, if it comes to us and it's like 6 months work and it's this like major thing, then we'd be like, well, now we need to look at it. What's the best way to go in that direction? It might be that we say, it's got to go there because they are the right people to do the job. And until sometimes you see it, you'll never know, right? And I guess that comes back to what we're saying earlier, is try different things. So yeah, I know we've not answered your question right now, but that is also a helpful part of this discussion because it kind of illustrates that folks are out there right now needing help with membership sites and funnels and more. And Susan's seeing all this stuff thinking, whoa, which bit can I help with and which bit can I not help with? And sometimes I guess it's important to actually say, this is what I do, but this is what I don't do. And that can be so powerful in your journey. But Susan's clearly gone from like nothing going on online. Now she's got little funnels of her own, and now it's membership site, and now she's getting people coming in, knocking on her door saying, please, I've seen that you're doing this amazing work for folks. Can you help me? She's kind of figuring out who her ideal customer is, and she's hooking the right folks in. She's signposting the folks she can't work with. She's sending them to her sort of like basic how-to content. And we literally have built a business in a week on paper, right? In concept. Mm-hmm. How many folks could take this learning and the things that we've showed you and bolt on their own ideas and go out there and actually get started on this path based on what we've done in 5 short days? I can see it.
Anyone that's doing something in the info product space can take exactly the blueprint that we've laid out and just change the context. I think if you're doing cart funnels or something in the physical like product space, there'll be a little bit of an adjustment, but for the most part, it's pretty similar. And that's one of the things that I like about Linchpin too, is like it works whether you're doing digital stuff or physical stuff or whatever. It's really not that much of a tweak in order to get it to work for pretty much any context. So I think definitely with what we laid out this week, you're able to, find the people, get them some free value with the webinar and get them signed up for the course. And then the course can be this thing that takes them from one part to another. And then from that point, they're just off to the races.
Off to the races, and we hope that it's successful for Susan. And just in typical ambassador style, here as always, Dan Havey to the rescue. He's like, dude, shoot me a video and we'll get it sorted. So you've got.
I wanted to mention Dan's name, and I'm like, I don't know if he's here or not, but like, there's a membership question. That's who I'm going to.
Yeah, it's like swooped and managed to help Alex out. And if there's an answer, we'll find the answer, right? It will always work to try and find the answer. And if we're doing this on the fly, on the live, I wish, when I first discovered ClickFunnels, that I could go into some group and be like, help with this thing on a Friday afternoon or whatever it is, Friday evening, and be like, oh, next week I can kick this thing into gear, because this is what Susan's doing, right? She's helping people to kick the business into gear and get it going. This is what nobody wants to sit there. I think Steve Larson says you can't steer a parked car. This thing's not moving, right? You're just like
Yes.
trying to move the thing. So look, we've covered so much this week, and if you're just joining us, there's a whole series of this that we've literally put together in 5 short days. And Andy, we're going to put this stuff onto a page. And we've got the Voomly account, and we're going to have all the videos and make sure that this is put onto a page on our ambassadors workspace. And we're going to share this with as many people as possible, right? So if you missed the previous episodes, they are in the features section. But we've got plans for this, Andy, right? And we're hoping that James and Riddy and Dan and everybody else can join us in the future. Where are we going with this, Andy?
Yeah, totally. So this is we just got started. We just got started a few months ago. Really trying to focus on putting really good content in the Facebook group. We want to make sure that people can come, even if they're brand new, even if they, maybe just heard about the Secrets Trilogy books. They're brand new, but they need funnels, and they're using ClickFunnels 2.0 or ClickFunnels Classic. And they can come into the group and they can get help, they can get answers, and they can also watch live videos, watch replays. So yeah, we're just getting started, and we, just like I mentioned in the beginning, we kind of went naturally. We had a plan for what we wanted to teach, but we let the plan evolve live in front of you guys with your help too, because there's a lot of people that sent in comments and had suggestions and things like that. And I think what we're going to do now is, in a couple of weeks, let's get Susan to start her own agency. That would be awesome. Ready?
Yep. A little small amazing shout out to Dan Heavy. He's the man. Anytime you need something, he's the man.
Yes.
Always ready to help you. Thank you so much, Dan. If you're watching this, thank you so much for being in the ClickFunnels. Because I have been reached out to him like so many times. Hey, Dan, I'm facing this issue. And the next thing what I get is a Loom video. Riddhi, you're doing this wrong. This is not working. And this is how it will be. Absolutely amazing.
Dan's
pretty awesome.
You all should build different types of business. Shortcut building affiliate groups and traffic. That's what I'm stabbing at, but there's so many ways to go about that. Affiliate stuff. We are doing some things in the actual ClickFunnels affiliate group, and that's going to be starting very soon as well, that ambassadors don't quite know about yet, but we've got some stuff that's kind of crossing over because we do have an affiliate community. We will be touching on affiliate stuff. We are going to kind of go down this agency route, but there is a logical crossover from, hey, now you're doing funnels, now you're building stuff that you could also sell your clients other people's products that they can bolt on. So affiliates will come up. Agency stuff will come up, e-com, I'm sure, Andy. There's all sorts of types of business, right?
Yeah, that's right. And for anybody that just heard the word affiliates and you're like, well, what are they talking about? Okay, so you can be an affiliate for ClickFunnels. And what does that mean? That means that you'll be able to get a link, right? And I know that we all know this, but I'm just making sure that maybe there might be somebody out there that doesn't know this, but you can actually get a link. And then let's say that you talk to somebody and you say, hey, you need a funnel for your business. That would be awesome. And actually, guess what? I'm getting pretty good at doing funnels, but you need to have ClickFunnels. So you'll give them the link, and then ClickFunnels will give you a percentage of what they pay every month. And that's a really good way for you to make additional income, especially if you're offering services or if you have an agency. So just wanted to throw that out there. Affiliate marketing, Michael, that was a really, really good idea. In fact, we do want to incorporate that into the next Build a Business series.
Yeah, and from a ClickFunnels point of view, the guys you need to be speaking to is Turner Leslie and Tyler Wicks, who are in the group, and we can get those guys to help you out, sort of figure some of this stuff. If you're not in their group, you need to join their group. There's kind of two sides of what we're doing at ClickFunnels, but affiliate marketing is very important in any entrepreneur's journey. And I think that's where a lot of folks kind of start when it comes to the online stuff. We're happy to help, Michael, and if you do want to shoot over any additional questions, if we can answer them, we will. But I think we are getting towards the hour, Andy. And you guys, James, really, you've given everything this week and showed people a big bunch of stuff, you know, just from where we started to where we are now. We literally have gone on a journey, and, you know, I've learned stuff. I know, Andy, you were talking earlier, like, well, I've learned all this stuff. We can't thank you enough for your input. Everybody's giving Dan the big shout outs. Rosa saying Dan will never let you down. He's the man. Helped me a lot. Dan's just in there, just
He's earned it. You know, we talk a lot about giving
exactly.
value and how do you get started and all that. And Dan is obviously pretty far from getting started, but that's why he's so successful, is because he's continuously giving value for free.
Yeah.
And through all the crap, like, no, let me help you with this thing right now. People respect that. I always will.
Yeah. That's an example.
Yeah, and you know, that's why we picked these ambassadors. So James, you too, Riddy, you too, Danny, you too. You know, our team over here at ClickFunnels, the community outreach team, what we wanted to do is we wanted to give the best experience as possible in this Facebook group. And what we did is we reached out to some of the coolest people in the group that are just like Dan, out there answering people's questions, helping people with nothing, expecting nothing in return, just there because they like to. And of course, you know, they do offer services. We all know that. And this is the reason why they're so successful in their business as well, because they answer people's questions without expecting anything in return. So thank you so much to all of our ambassadors.
Indeed, and it's a pleasure to be doing this, right? Because often we see, and I put a post up the other day, and I'll continue to say it. You see somebody come in and somebody asks a really useful question in the group, and somebody goes, DM me and I will answer it. It's like, nobody can see your expertise in a DM. Nobody knows what gets said in that DM message, right? So if you come out there and you just go, there's the answer, there's a Loom video, this is how you do it, there's a screenshot, fix the problem there and then. Everything that James, Riddy, Andy, everything we've said on this live will start to happen for you. And I think some folks might be going about this actually making things more difficult for themselves by not helping in the public and helping in the group. So that's just my humble view. But certainly when you do it, you know, you're getting the shout outs, you're getting the recognition. How many people are in that chat right now saying big shout out to Dan Heavy, he's the one who's helping? I don't see people mentioning that dude who was asking for a DM. I don't see it. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. So there's definitely, if you take nothing else from this training, is like help openly, and you will start to see things change in your business. Oh man, Michael's saying you ask a question, you get 50 DMs. That's not what we want to be fostering in the group, and it's hopefully things like this that will kind of move everyone away. Come and ask a question on the live, and you'll get the help here and now. That's the big difference, right? And folks like
exactly.
This, amazing.
So we've been thank you, Danny, for, you know, stressing that there's a way to do it. If you are one of those people that offers services, there's a way to do it, and there's ways that kind of get annoying for some people in the ClickFunnels group, and so that's why we ask you not to ask for DMs or send DMs. But hey, guess what? We're live all the time in the ClickFunnels group. In fact, usually we're live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and that's the plan for next week. And I think in a couple of weeks we'll make sure that we decide soon, and we post some announcements. But really soon we are going to be having another Build a Business series. Yay. And so I'm really excited about getting started with that. But anyways, I know that we're coming up to the end of the hour, and this has been awesome. We've had a wonderful week. You know, like you said, Danny, I learned so much just listening to some of the ideas and getting different people's perspectives. So I hope that everybody else really got some benefits out of this. We'd love to see your comments in the comments section. So let us know how we did, and hopefully you'll join us next week as well.
Yeah, 100%. And Michael's saying he usually saves his questions for lives or for support because we're great, which goes down real well with us, right? We want to come up here and we do want to give that value. And any suggestions, any ideas? It's great about the affiliate stuff and where can we take this? We've really kind of designed this and molded this based on comments and questions as we moved along. And there was a comment from Loris the other day, I think, that, why are there not 10,000 people watching this? At some point, there might be, because there's a lot of folks in this group. And now we're seeing the numbers increase. We're seeing people getting results. This is only going to get bigger and better. And we'll keep giving you the replays and keep pointing you in the right direction. You can go out there and crush it with ClickFunnels in your business. Awesome.
Yep. And a few months back, until Danny onboarded with the ClickFunnels and making the group great again, I am a part of a lot more communities as well. And I was seeing the comments and posts like ClickFunnels group is like kind of DM spammer. And that was making me so bad. Like, no, that's not true. But that was the one reason that people went away. But now I can see, because we can see so many questions getting asked in the group. So people are coming back, and definitely in future there will be 10,000 people watching this kind of lives, of course.
Yep. And we can only improve, right? So for me, certainly big thanks to you guys, James, Riddy, Tim, everybody else that's joined us this week as well. Andy, a pleasure as always. We are right up to time. Unless there's anything else from you guys, I'm all good. This has been amazing. I'm going to take some notes and build some funnels.
I don't know how these hours are like going like this.
Agree.
Yeah. Time flies when you're building funnels, right?
That's right.
So look, everybody, Andy, if you're happy and everybody's happy in the chat, no other questions, we will see everybody on the next live.
Cool. All right. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.